Well, hello and welcome, New Covenant Christian Church members and guests. Tonight, Jeff and I would like to take just a few moments and update you on some of the progress we're making here at New Covenant, as well as make an important announcement. As all of you know, a couple of months back, we developed a search committee looking for our next senior pastor for our congregation. Mary Beth Becker was kind enough to chair up this committee, and they're doing all the right things right now to keep the committee and the search moving forward. As was expected, this search is going to take some time. During this search, we simply ask for all of your prayers and your patience, praying for this committee and praying that God shows them the way to find our next leader. At the same time, during this time of search, Reverend Eula has just done a fantastic job of keeping our congregation moving forward. Eula continues to direct our youth group, meeting with them virtually, talking to them on the telephone, making sure things are taking place like high school graduation celebrations so that these seniors weren't cheated out of their graduation ceremonies. At the same time, she's fulfilling the roles and responsibilities of a senior pastor here at New Covenant. She's preaching 2 sermons almost every Sunday. She continues to stay in touch with our members and our loved ones that are in the hospital, assisted living facilities, and nursing homes, as well as reaching out to those who are simply just not comfortable leaving their house right now during this pandemic. So tonight, Eula, we simply owe you our thanks. We all cringe at where we would be as a congregation without your support and your leadership. We thank you. You are truly the glue that has held New Covenant together through these rocky times. Jeff?
But now, Brian and church, the time has come that we need to get Pastor Eula the help that she needs, the most important job that she holds, being a mother, being a grandma, and being a wife. So we have set out and had many meetings with our voting 12 elder shepherds and doing several interviews with candidates. Through a unanimous vote, we, as the voting 12 elder shepherds, decided to move forward as God chose to lead us. We decided that it was time to find that candidate. We interviewed several candidates to fill this position of interim transitional minister. Upon doing the interviews, we had one candidate that stood head and shoulders above the rest. This candidate had qualities that fit exactly what we were looking for in these very unusual times that we face. We felt that this candidate brought several spiritual gifts that matched very well with what Pastor Eula has been doing in holding down the fort, so to speak. After we had done these interviews, we gathered together again as the voting 12 elder shepherds and took a unanimous vote, and this candidate was given the opportunity to meet with Steve Fibus, who has been working diligently and tirelessly with Reverend Pam Holt at our regional office. It was with his work that we were able to bring this candidate, as well as the other candidates, to light for these interviews. I would like to give you the opportunity now to meet this candidate. I believe that you will find this candidate to possess many of the great qualities that we found as we voted unanimously to offer this opportunity to partner with us here at New Covenant Christian Church to continue God's ministry as we move forward in this unusual time. So at this time, I would like to introduce to you the Reverend Amy Rogers. Amy, would you like to come up here and give us the church an opportunity to meet you?
Thank you, Jeff and Brian and Steve. I'm privileged to be here. It is certainly an interesting time that we are all navigating during this pandemic, and God is always ready to surprise and has gifted me with this opportunity to serve as your interim pastor. And I've already had the privilege of meeting with the staff, and I'm very impressed with your staff, with your leadership, with your elders, and their vibrant ministry. And I very much look forward to meeting all of you for a while. That might be on the telephone. Some of you I'll get to see in worship. And I also just want to acknowledge that your leadership has struggled with the difficult challenge of figuring out how to stay connected as church, in worship, and in other creative ways. I think they've done a wonderful job with that. It's not an easy position to be in, as we know. So I'm very excited about the opportunity to serve as the interim and to, as you said, keep this church moving forward, listening to the voice and the direction of God's call as we move together into an exciting future. So here we go.
Well, we're excited to have you, Amy, and I know the church will be excited to have you as well as we partner together in moving forward in this very unique time. You bring a lot of unique gifts, and I know that every one of our sheep out there are going to be excited to meet you, to get to know who you are, and to be able to form that bond and that relationship with you as you partner with Pastor Eula in carrying this church forward as we seek this settled senior pastor. So thank you for taking up this opportunity with us to partner and move forward. And I know everybody's going to be excited to meet you.
Thank you for the challenge.
You bet. We know that it's been tough on everybody to not be able to gather together as we have prior to this unusual pandemic that we had. And as sheep like to gather in the pasture, we enjoy that time of fellowship. However, we do have the 9 o'clock in-person worship that we have available. For those of you that feel comfortable at this time getting out, we've done a great job through our worship committee and also through our admin committee in providing the needed protocols to provide the security and the safety that the CDC has required for having that in-person service. But for those of you that are still not yet comfortable in getting out, we do offer the 11 o'clock streaming service, and our church secretary, who works diligently, Cindy Earnhardt, to put out a YouTube link and a Facebook link to join us for that service as well. So please join us either way. We would love to see you here at New Covenant Christian Church. Brian?
Sure. Thanks, Jeff, and thank you, Amy. We do look forward to working with you. I know some of you have reached out to us as well and asked, what about Sunday school? When will we be able to meet again in the building for Sunday school classes? Trust us, we all want to get back to a normal Sunday here where we can all gather, sharing coffee and donuts, fellowship, learn about our God, and also then worship together afterwards. The elders, as well as Sam Maurer, our president, Steve, our chair of our HR committee, are working very closely with the education committee, the administration committee, the worship committee. We're watching these COVID-19 trends as closely as we possibly can and just want it to be perfectly safe before we bring us all back together. We'll keep you posted as we move forward, and none of us want to get back in here any quicker than I do, I assure you. So stay tuned, we'll keep you abreast, and in the meantime, continue with your prayers, continue to have your faith in God, right? Some days, there's days where we feel like that's all we've got left. So pray to our God, and we look forward to hopefully very soon all of us getting back together again. So thank you and God bless.